afternoon. It is Thursday, February 10th, and this is the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlaw, and I'm with two lovely guests. Ladies, how are we doing today?
Pretty good.
Phenomenal.
Nice. Okay, so for the viewers out there that don't know who you are, Kendra, why don't we start with you? Why don't you introduce yourself to the people out there today?
My name is Kendra McPeek. I am a sophomore here at Cal, and I'm studying health science, and I'm from Binghamton, New York.
And why? All right. JB, introduce yourself to the people out there.
I'm Juliana Burris. I'm a freshman here at Cal. I'm also studying health science, and I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Health science for both. So, you know, what are when you have this major, what is the goal for you coming down here? Like, do you, Kendra, have an idea of what you want to do with your health science degree?
Yeah, so I'm going to PA school to further my education as a PA injector.
Nice.
So that should be fun.
Good.
Yeah.
That's exciting. JB, yeah.
I want to go to PT school and become a physical therapist afterwards. So
Great.
that's my goal.
I can actually I can see you both doing those careers and doing really well and making good money.
A little bit
Making that money.
a little bit of money.
Healthcare is in big demand right now.
Yeah,
so-
hey, and that's great. And if something that you really like and you enjoy, isn't that always the goal, to choose a profession that makes you happy and something that,
Absolutely.
you know, that you're passionate about and keeps you interested and that you like. So, awesome. Well, let's talk some hoops. Ladies, coming off a tight one last night,
Yeah,
a
big
fun
dub.
one. Obviously, IUP always a huge rival of ours. Any PSAC school, basically a rival of ours. I think anytime that you're in the PSAC, you're going to get great games every single night. So tell us your thoughts a little bit about last night, how the game went, what you think. Super excited about the win. Kendra, you first.
Well, I would say that we came out pretty good. We had a few times where we got down a little bit, but we always pushed back. I feel like a lot of people came in and did what they had to do. LB hit that big three in the end, which all got us excited. And then we just pulled it out with a good win. I feel like we all played pretty tough.
Yeah,
It was a tough one.
for sure. It was gritty, you know.
Yeah.
I think if someone would say, if they would talk about the game, they would look at that performance and say, you know what, hey, you found a way to win. JB, tell me your thoughts on the game last night.
I thought both teams, came out a little slow the first 5 minutes. It was kind of just back and forth, but no one was really hitting anything. But like you said, it was a gritty win. I feel like everyone just wanted it so bad. We fought through a lot of things with Bree going down and then Shauna going down. Everyone kind of just had to play extra hard so we could pull off the win.
Yeah, and you know, when you're not, I think we continually say this at Cal U, but it doesn't really hit home until you see it in action. We talk a lot about our defense, our defense, and I think last night, if you talk about what our shooting percentage was from the three-point line,
Yeah.
I think it's a true tale of what we kind of think we preach at Cal U, is that defense can really keep you in games and win games for you. Your thoughts on that, guys, about kind of seeing that? I mean, JB, you haven't been here for a really long time, so maybe this is something that you can speak to. Kendra has seen this in play year after year, being with the program. But, you being a freshman, JB, tell us about like what you think about that so far, of that being the case.
I mean, I agree. Defense definitely wins games because, you can't really pick and choose when you're going to have a good shooting night or a bad shooting night, but you can really choose like when to sit down and really play defense. That's kind of all an effort thing.
Love the answer. Kendra, for you, do you think that holds true?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've never experienced it as much as we do here, and I feel like defense is like the main goal of our, like, how we play. So I feel like it really helps us in situations, especially like last night, how we weren't hitting, and then they couldn't handle pressure. So as long as we keep going on defense, it just really helped us.
Yeah, and I think it's really tough, especially playing 3 games a week. I mean, you guys have seen it. Practice is very limited. It's almost like professional athletes in the NBA, WNBA. Like, if you have so many games in the week, there's and I don't want to say limited opportunities to practice, because, hey, everybody can get in the gym, get shots up,
Right.
You work on your craft. But in terms of, focusing on the time on the other team, focusing on, just getting in the gym, it's really tough because of minutes being played, games back-to-back. You do need a little bit of rest. Tell us about how you guys are figuring things out through this unusual season with those 3 games. Kendra, you want to go first?
I don't know. It's pretty tough, especially with limited practices. Like you said, like we aren't getting in and getting as much as we really can. because our bodies are just so tired, and especially like with me not being able to play that many minutes, I feel like getting in on game days and getting in on off days, it's like really crucial to stay in shape because we're not able to do as much as we were able to do in the beginning.
Up and down,
Yeah.
especially up and down full court. There's not a ton of that right now during this time. Especially, I think you see that kind of go down anyway in the course of a season. In the second part, it kind of goes down. But now with those games, JB, what do you do to kind of stay prepared? And I will tell you this. We had a security guard come and tell us yesterday about how you come in the gym. They said, listen, this number 21 is in here all the time in the evenings, when no one's around, the lights are dim, she's in there. We know that you spend a lot of time in the gym. Is that just something to keep yourself comfortable? You love to do it? Talk a little bit about that.
A little bit of both. I love to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's kind of like a stress reliever.
Mm-hmm.
So like if school stresses me out, I'll work on homework, be like, I need a little bit of break, go to the gym. And also, we don't practice very often because we are playing 3 games a week. We don't want to burn everyone out. And so it's kind of just like, okay, what do I need to do to keep myself prepared?
Yep, prepared and ready, and that's kind of how it always is. Mm-hmm. You have to be ready when your name's called, and I just think that's so awesome. So let's talk about, just over the course of the season, give me your little synopsis, a little bit. Basically, tell me about how the season is going so far. What you think about the team, where we are, where we're going, just something maybe to speak on the season so far.
I feel like we're in a pretty good place. I feel like we really came over adversity in the beginning because of COVID and everything like that, and especially last year not being able to have a season. So we were like facing a lot of different issues coming into this season. And I feel like we came in with a good attitude, and especially after we all had to sit out due to COVID, we came back fighting. And I feel like the season has been going really well. Of course, we lost a few, but that was nothing but our faults. The teams weren't better than us. We just didn't play as well as we should have.
Yep. And for you, JB, how is it going so far? What do you think about season so far, being new, to college basketball? Obviously, you were here last spring, and able to practice, but no competition. What are your thoughts on the season, and what do you think about the PSAC so far, as being like a newcomer to it?
The PSAC we've mentioned this many times, it's crazy this year because we've seen a lot of, I guess, upsets, teams beating teams we wouldn't expect. But I think the season has gone pretty well so far. We've had our bumps in the road, as any team does. I thought coming back from Christmas break was very interesting and a little rough for everyone on the team, but I thought we did a very good job of pushing through and kind of finding a way to get through it. And then if anything else happened, like losing games we shouldn't have lost, I thought we all did a very good job of talking about it and figuring out what the issue was and then fixing it.
And bouncing back. And that's the thing, though. It's like, yeah, you're going to get knocked down. I have yet to be a part of a perfect season in my basketball career as a player or a coach. I've never gone, 30-0, or, there's always been some losses. So I think so much it's not about, it's either you're going to win, we talk about it, you're either going to win or you're going to learn. If you lose, what are you going to do to learn, to get better? And I think that's kind of where we are. I think that, from our perspective, from the coach's perspective, you see a lot more clicking right now. You kind of see, it's like, okay, we have a good idea of what we're supposed to do. We have a good idea how we're supposed to do that in close back-to-back games, how we're supposed to do that against great teams in the PSAC, I think. Every day is you're getting ready to face an opponent that wants to beat you. And that's just kind of how it is. That's how we are with other teams. That's how other teams are with us. So talk to us about what you're excited for about, we just played IUP for the second time. We're making that way where we have played everybody once in the PSAC in the West, and we're making that way now. What are you guys excited for? I know we take it game by game, and we never look forward, but what are you guys most excited for as we start to build towards our goals?
I feel like since we played every team, we know what to expect and what every team is going to bring to the floor. So I feel like if we can fix our past mistakes, then there's no way that we can lose another game coming forward, because we have played all these teams before, so we know exactly what they're going to do, exactly how they're going to play us. So as long as we learn from our past games, our wins and losses, that we could just continue to go strong. And I feel like we'll do a good job with that.
Nice. So you're basically saying, like, knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you can figure it out, if you can stay focused, if you know what's going on and have good understanding, then you can fight through it. Yeah. JB, for you, what are you most excited for?
So obviously we have already played all the teams once, and I think what they would do is going to try to see how the little things they can change to try to beat us. but I'm excited to see how we counteract that.
Absolutely.
And then I think it's important for us to come into each game as if like, oh, we lost to them, even though we didn't. But just come in with that mindset so we play really hard just from the start.
Yeah, and really that's what it's all about, energy right now. I think, everybody has a good idea, everyone's skill sets, everybody's ability from, what you're good at. And it's what kind of energy can you bring to your team and how much effort can you put into the game. And to me, at the end of the day, it's going to be who can really grind it out, who can stay mentally focused and who can be physically tough enough to get through the games playing this amount of time. And it's so funny, we still have a lot of season left, but it's jam-packed into a 2 week. It's so funny, we keep saying like, oh, there's, you look at the standings, you look at everything, and you keep saying, man, a lot of games left to be played, and then you look at the calendar and you're like,
there's only 2 weeks
there's
left.
only 2 weeks left. So yeah, well, we're super excited about it. I know we're super excited to have you guys on the show to get your thoughts on Cal U women's basketball. I thank you for joining the show. Any thoughts? Anyone want to shout out the family members out there today? Anybody that might be watching? No? Okay. Well,
not today.
I'll shout out. Shout out to the families, friends, everybody at JB and Kendra. Ladies, thanks for joining the show. Folks, we will be right back with the main lady, Jess Strom, just in a few moments.
Vulcan basketball is back. At Bloomsburg. At East Stroudsburg. Women at Bowie State. Men home versus Carlow. Home versus Westchester. Home versus Millersville. Home versus Kutztown. Home versus IUP. At UPJ. At Shepherd. Home versus Slippery Rock. At Edinburgh. At Clarion. At Mercyhurst. Home versus Gannon. Home versus Seton Hill. At Slippery Rock. Home versus Pitt Johnstown. Women at Salem. At IUP. Home versus Edinburgh. At Seton Hill. Home versus Clarion. Home versus Mercyhurst. At Gannon. Follow the Vulcans live on CUTV Sports 1, on the PSAC Digital Network, and at calvulcans.com.
Welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. Here we are again, Jess. How are you doing today?
Good.
Good.
After a win, it's always nice to be here.
Just always a better day, isn't it? Man, wins do equal a little bit of happiness.
Yep.
Don't you feel that?
Yeah.
You hate to say it like that because that's not what it's all about. It's the process, it's the journey, but man, it
Feels better.
It's a different kind of day.
Yes.
Well, a lot has happened in a short amount of time. We're going to get into the game from last night, but let's kind of go back in time. It seems like ages ago, but really, how much time? Like a week?
Yeah, not even a week. We were at Mercyhurst.
That feels like 2 years ago.
It really does.
It feels like 2 years ago. We went up to Mercyhurst. It was a rescheduled game. Had to reschedule it back up to Erie. Did it in a day trip, which is cool. Hopped on the bus and played at Mercyhurst.
Yeah, I think it was, I feel like we've been on the bus for probably a week straight. But it was a later game, so we did go up the day of. And I think if you watched the game, you could tell the first quarter we needed to get our legs moving a little bit.
A little flat, huh?
Yeah, a little bit flat. Came out a little bit flat. But one thing about this team, we continue to fight. Every game, win or, the ones we lost,
close.
They were close. We were close. We gave ourselves a chance. But, and you see us hitting some jump shots. But we did fall behind early. And I think I'm learning one thing about this team. Even when we fall behind, there's no panic, really. Like I said, we just fight back. Just try to pick up our defensive energy.
For sure. And as I'm watching this, it's like this game never happened. I don't remember the plays. I remember, obviously, I remember the fourth quarter quite a bit, but these seem like this is a distant memory.
Yeah.
Is that kind of how you're feeling about this season so far? Nice hit by Hallie right there.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just there's 2 games since then, so your brain has to automatically kind of move on. But watching it again, yeah, it's huge. We had some huge plays. I think Deja in the second half
for sure
was really big for us. Was finishing down low, was finishing at the rim. And I just think this game, thinking back on it, we made some really, really important plays. If it was sprinting back on defense and tipping the ball out of bounds, obviously these are offensive clips. But I think we made the little plays we needed to make, whether it was a rebound, I know LB had a huge bucket before the shot clock went off. Just little things. I think we really did the little things needed to win. And at this time of year, you have to do all those little things.
And these games have been just close throughout. Obviously, 68-60 was the final there, but every single game that we're playing seems like it is won in the fourth quarter. Obviously, that's not where it's won, but we're down to the wire in so many of the games.
They've been, not just our games, too. I feel like across the PSAC, there's been really close games and good games. And I feel like as a fan, that's probably exciting to watch. As coaches, we'd rather not, but they definitely are good games.
Yeah, and I'm getting a sense, Jess, and I'm not sure, we watch, obviously, everything in the PSAC and take a look at scores. Scores are low this year. Do you think that's because there's been 3 games a week? What are your thoughts on that? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't really know either. I feel like there was more scoring at the beginning of the year, though, so maybe people are slowing down, getting tired. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or people are figuring each other out a little bit defensively.
Making it more difficult.
Yeah, so I don't know. But there have been some low-scoring games.
Yeah, for sure. And then, right after Mercyhurst, every game is big. We knew we were heading down to Shepherd, who we always have said, and anyone in the PSAC, they're a really, really great team. Went down there, didn't have the start that I think that we would have wanted in any stretch of the imagination. But again, was a really, really close game, up for grabs for anyone. Tell us a little bit about Shepherd.
Yeah, a quick turnaround. We had Sunday to prepare, which has now become normal for us. But we practice Sunday, watch film, and they are a good team. And then it's just we shoot around at 8 a.m. on Monday, and then you take the long bus ride down there. And I think it takes a minute for us
to get going.
But we did. We fought back at the end of the third quarter. Sierra hit a half-court shot to tie it. So it's not like we were out of the game at any point.
And, this is one of those games that, obviously for the viewers out there that don't know, we did lose this game down at Shepherd. At the end, it's like, we've had those games in the past where we would say, you're kind of a little bit agitated, you're angry. But this was, I don't believe this was effort-based. I thought Shepherd just made more plays than we did when it came down to it. What thoughts on that?
In the fourth quarter, whenever it was, we needed a stop. I think, especially number 4 for them, just made tough shots.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't even really, we were playing bad defense. I think she made a couple shots in our face down the stretch. And she's a good player. They're a good team. So, it was a battle. And they're going to be a team that's probably in the NCAA tournament. So,
for sure.
With veteran players. It's a loss, which is not great, but again, we have to learn from it.
Yeah, and you're disappointed in the loss, but you're not disappointed in the effort. You might be disappointed, hey, we got to hit some outside shots. They weren't continually falling for us, but you're not mad at the effort and the way the kids put themselves out there. I just said kids, players put themselves out there, but at the end of the day, it comes down to winning and losing. And this one, we were just on the opposite side of it.
Yeah, and like you said, I think
there's the half-court shot. I literally thought we were winning. Whenever
when she made that.
And I always, you always come in and you're optimistic. There's never a time in my mind that I think that we're going to lose. But whenever she hit that shot, I was like, there's just no way. And then, that wasn't the case at the end.
Yeah, and you see the scores here. I mean, it's a very close game. Like, they're up 2, we were up 2. And then down the end, we had to foul a little bit, so it gets to 10. But it was a 6-point game, 5-point game.
Yep, for sure. 66-76 on the losing end of that. Then, you don't have much time to think about it, which might be beneficial for the players. I know we think a lot differently. You kind of hold on to it, but there's no time. No time to think about the loss. You learn from it, and you move on.
Basically, the bus ride home, you think about it, and then
but
you
really,
have to move on.
We're watching film on the other team.
Maybe they do. I don't know. And then you have to move on because then you're going to IUP. I mean, I feel like we was like, bam, Mercyhurst, bam, Shepherd. And then, last night we're at IUP. So it's been a long week. Yep. We didn't get home from Shepherd till 1 a.m. back to Cal. So I know our players were probably very tired. But we came in, we watched film. We tried to rest a little bit. Didn't get on the court at all on Tuesday. and try to just prepare, mentally more than physically.
Yeah. And I feel like for this whole season, it just, the motto should just be find a way.
Yeah.
Like whatever you have to do, however you have to do it, whatever we have to do, there's no job that's too big. There's no job that's too small. It's just basically finding a way to figure this out and get a win.
Yeah, it's all about adjustments. Like our schedule has been adjusted how many times, and this is all new for us. Like we've never played 3 games in a week consistently, for 4 weeks straight or whatever it is. So it's just trying to figure out a good balance of rest, making sure they're taking care of themselves, sleeping, all that kind of stuff. It's really important.
Yeah, and then you also have to take into the equation too, and we don't have this. We have the different side of it where, we're doing film prep and scouts and, travel plans and stuff. But our players and everybody else in the PSAC and everyone else in the nation also has class.
Yeah.
They have to get the work done in the classroom too, which I think is challenging when you're on the road, missing some classes due to travel times. Like they're putting in a lot of effort on the other side of it
Yeah,
as
they
well.
are for sure. I mean, we have kids right after games taking quizzes, on the vans taking quizzes. So it's a lot for them right now.
For
So, just kind of staying focused on the things that are important. School,
Priorities.
yeah, basketball, getting rest, stuff like that.
There's really no time for much else at this moment. School, hoops, and,
Not
work.
enough hours in the day.
Nope, and it just is what it is. And here's the thing that I think is kind of cool. I mean, it's everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
So it's not like, if there were only 2 teams playing 3 days a week, you might feel a certain way about it. Like, hey, this is really tough. This is really hard. But hey, everybody's going through the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. It is what it is. The game is scheduled. You have to play it.
It's on the schedule.
Yeah.
You're going to play it no matter what time, what place,
Yeah.
and just have to find a way. But, let's go back to last night. Man, what a game.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was strange without fans, but
Very odd
yeah.
feel, but I thought benefited us greatly. IEP always brings out a really great crowd. Obviously, no fans allowed, but it's also a weird feeling. It's like a scrimmage, so you got to find your own energy within your bench.
And we had practice, because we went to Slippery Rock already this year and had no fans. But I think our kids did a good job of,
Absolutely.
our bench being fired up, the kids on the floor being fired up.
And it just, I think both teams out the gate, it wasn't, a huge high-scoring game or anything. But just plays were made at the end, and throughout the game, it was close the whole way through. Thoughts?
Yeah, I just think, obviously, no one scored for the first couple minutes of this game, and it was like, all right, who's going to score?
Who's
going to
be the first one?
But you just had, it was one of those games, we were down 10 right there when Deja made that hoop, and, we were down 10, we were down 7 or 8 in the second half. And I, again, just felt like we never gave up. Like, were we missing shots? Obviously, yes. Were we taking a lot of outside shots? Yes. But we never panicked. We never gave up. These are the ones we love to see here. Steals, the scores, especially when teams are playing us, packing in the paint. They double, triple team Deja down low. So it's nice to see easy baskets. But yeah, just sticking with it basically was what we did. Bree went down with an injury early, which hurts us. Shauna went down, and she was actually scoring. I think she had 13 in the first half. So, but she came back, fought through that, and I just think that's kind of who we have become as a team. We're not going to give up. We didn't put our heads down at all. There was no, pouting or, we're going to lose this game. I never got the feeling that they felt that way. I never felt that way.
No, not at one point. It just kind of felt like we were always, trying to make plays. And, they went to a 2-3 zone in the second half. Obviously, we went to our zone as well. And it became an outside shooting fest, I think, for not for everybody, but for us. Yeah. Had a lot of opportunities to go on the outside. And just so happened, we got them to fall when we needed it. And
that was a
huge basket.
Huge basket too.
Yep.
Tie it up here. I think this is the first time we
Here
led
it
it
is.
right there all game.
Yep.
And our benches fired up. That was a huge hit, and especially because she wasn't making a ton of shots before that. And I think she was a little bit frustrated, but kept shooting. That's what you have to do. I mean, if you're open, you have to shoot it. So
Yep.
I think she shot that with confidence. It went in, and it worked out.
Yeah, and at no point there was a red light for anybody on the outside. This is not how it's going to be. I think with Deja's post presence on the inside, especially scoring 30 against Shepherd, I think people know that she's very, very capable of scoring on the inside. But whenever people seem to double her. Hey, look what's open on the
and
outside.
she's doing a good job of passing it out of
Absolutely.
there, too. She's, you know, looking to see who's open, and we're going to continue to take those shots. Like, if they're open, they catch and shoot it, and I just have to be confident. I mean, they are capable. We just have to put them in.
And the adjustments, too, is, you know, any which way you double, you know, we're going to find a way to get someone who's open. And I love the confidence that you instill in the players. Like, at no point it's like, you know, we're not taking those. Hey, inside-out balance is always the goal. But, you know, when someone is open, you have the faith in the players. I mean, that's why they're here at Cal U, is that, you know, we have the faith that not only can they get the job done defensively, which kind of we're known for, but that they're able to make plays for us on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, and I guess more importantly than even that, I'm pretty confident that if they miss it, we can get the rebound.
Amen.
That's effort-based to me. So, yeah, we're going to shoot those. Maybe we'll make it. Maybe we won't. But I feel like if we want it bad enough, and in the second half, fourth quarter especially, we got those offensive rebounds that we needed.
It just came down to we made plays when we needed to. Especially, I thought, on the defensive end. There were some people, I mean, I just think about Shauna with her little ace bandage on, like couldn't lift up her shoulder, getting one-arm rebounds. I think about Deja jumping as high as she possibly could, come down just like with gritty plays, LB getting that steal to that layup, you know, just like, you know, Sierra coming down, spreading it out, like being a real game manager and getting everybody in position. I just felt like it was gutsy and gritty.
Yep, those are kind of like, you know, because,
Always.
yeah, I mean, obviously, it probably wasn't the worst shooting night that we've had, because we've had some really bad ones, but it was up there. And to still be able to beat a good team on those nights, it gives us confidence. Like, we're never out of a game then, no matter how bad we shoot.
Absolutely, and it's always so nice, too, contributions from the bench, which I think is going to be huge. I think everyone's bench in the PSAC is going to be huge as we get closer towards the end, but it's so nice to have, you know, people come off the bench, make plays. Hallie with a huge shot at the end, and some hustle plays on defense. Like, you know, you just really, really like when people are involved and doing what we need to do to get wins.
Yeah, I don't think even, you know, when the bench comes in, I don't know if they even know how important even a minute is, because it gives someone a rest. Or if someone's in foul trouble, like, it doesn't even matter the amount of minutes. Like, it's just go in and do what you have to do. And I think our bench did do that last night.
Absolutely. It was huge for us. And again, I think it's going to be huge moving forward as we continue to grind this out. So 2 weeks left. Where has time gone? Yeah. It's been so rough. Not rough. I don't want to say that. It's been
fast.
Thank you. Fast, quick.
Yeah.
A lot of hours logged in by everybody. I feel like everyone's just, you know, committed. I think about our athletic trainers. Mm-hmm. I think about, you know, our players. I think about, you know, coaching staff members. Like, it's just like whatever it takes at the moment. And everyone, you got to be all in. And that's kind of how I'm feeling. Like, I'm feeling that right now. It's like, you know, all in. 2 weeks left. It is tight. I feel like that old song from the 90s, living in the wild, wild west. Like, it is crazy. Look at this.
I mean, you see the standings, but also the top three right there have 4 losses. So we have just played less games. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll catch up here in the next 2 weeks. But it's tight. It is really tight. We still have to play Gannon. We still have to play Seton Hill, and they're both above us. And then, you know, obviously we have some other games.
UPJ, Slippery Rock, Mercyhurst. I mean, everybody.
There's 7 more games to go. It is a lot going on.
And it's wild. Have you seen it this wild?
No.
When is the last time you remember it being like this?
No, it's always, you know, I always feel like anyone can beat anyone on a certain night. But I always felt like there was certain teams at the top, and then, you know, in the middle, and then towards the bottom. This year, I'm like,
don't know.
You don't know. You really don't know how it's going to end up. So I feel like you just have to, you really cannot look ahead.
Nope.
Like, there is no looking ahead, not for 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, the thought about March, it's not even, it's not even on the radar.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's take care of business in February. I mean, let's take care of business on Saturday. It's not even like, who do we have next and next and next? Yes, you have to prepare, but I mean, the upcoming schedule, we have a big game Saturday at home versus Edinburgh. They beat us the last time out. And then UPJ, Seton Hill. I mean, basically, besides everybody on the West besides IUP.
Yeah, and like I said, most important right now is Edinburgh. You know, it's the next one. They beat us out there, so I think, you know, we want to come out Saturday and kind of be tough. Like, you beat us, now we're going to come out and play really, really hard. You know, it's a huge game for us. Every game is a huge game for us.
I was going to say, there is no such thing as not a big game.
It really is, and they're a good team. They have some really good players. that we have to do a better job guarding this time around. But, also when we were out there, again, our shooting percentage was not great. We missed a ton of layups and fought. It was, again, a close game. We were up in the third and the fourth. So it's not like it was a blowout or, the plays we needed to make, they made. We didn't make them in there. So I'm excited. We have a home game. I feel like we haven't been home.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I'm glad to be, home in the Convocation Center this Saturday.
And we have I think, 2 home games in a row. Is it 3 or 2? I don't even know.
No, we're going to UPJ.
Oh, at
Monday.
UPJ
Yeah.
after. See, exactly. Just focus on Saturday, trying to figure that out. Then we are heading to UPJ on that Monday.
Yeah.
And then
2 Seton Hill.
2 Seton Hill, and then we have
Then we're
that's our
home.
stretch of home. Thanks again. There's the graphic right there. So, yep, away. Then we got that's it. That's the stretch.
Clearing
3 at
surprises,
home,
yep.
and then ending at Gannon. But again, those ones don't matter. The only ones that matter is Saturday.
Yeah, literally prepare for Saturday, and when it's done, start preparing for Monday.
It is what it is.
Yep.
Well, Jess, I think that wraps us up. Folks, make sure you come to the game on Saturday. Big game versus Edinboro here at the Convocation Center on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. And if you can't make it, watch from home. CUTV, always doing a good job putting out the live stream and getting those announcers going and talking some hoops. So join us Saturday, because it's the most important one of the year.
Yep.
1 p.m. versus Edinboro. We hope to see you again on the Jess Strom Show. Have a good one.